Breaking news has rocked the entertainment world, and this time, it hits close to home for Kandi Burruss and her daughter, Kaela Tucker. Reports are coming in that Kaela has received devastating health news that no one could have predicted. Friends, fans, and even celebrities are rallying behind the family as Kandi struggles to hold it together. What really happened to Kaela, and how serious is this update? Stay tuned, because the truth behind this heartbreaking story will leave you speechless. But what really happened to Kaela Tucker? How did her health suddenly spiral so drastically? And why are those closest to the family saying the truth is far more serious than anyone realizes? Stay with me, because in this video, we're uncovering everything from what the doctors have quietly shared to how Kandi Burruss and her family are holding up behind closed doors. What we discovered might completely change the way you see this family forever. Kaela Tucker, known as the calm, grounded daughter of Kandi Burruss, one of reality TV's most powerful and successful women, has always chosen a life away from the flashing cameras. While her mother built an empire, Kaela preferred peace over publicity. But recently, her name has flooded headlines, and not for the reasons anyone saw coming. It began as quiet whispers online, small, almost hidden updates from people who claimed to know what was really going on. Fans started noticing that Kaela had gone completely silent. No posts, no stories, nothing. Her once active social media presence suddenly vanished without explanation, and that's when the speculation began. At first, everyone assumed Kaela had just stepped away for a while, maybe to focus on her peace, her goals, or her mental health. But then came the post that changed everything. Kandi Burruss, usually so full of energy and confidence, shared a message that stopped fans in their tracks. It was short, but heavy with emotion. Sometimes life hits you harder than you ever imagined. Please keep my family in your prayers. That single post set off a wave of concern across social media. Something wasn't right, and people knew it. Speculation spread fast. What happened to Kaela? Was she struggling with her health, or was there something even deeper going on behind the scenes? Over the next few days, rumors filled blogs and fan pages, each one claiming to have the inside story. But now, the real truth is slowly coming out, and it's far more heartbreaking than anyone expected. According to reliable family insiders and medical updates, Kaela Tucker has been quietly fighting a serious health battle, one that recently took a sudden, unexpected turn. The situation has forced her loved ones to make incredibly difficult choices as they rally around her. Those close to the family describe this as one of the most emotional chapters they've ever faced. And for Kandi Burruss, a woman known for her strength, ambition, and drive, it's been a painful reminder that even the strongest hearts can be tested when it's your child who's hurting. The potential for losing authority over the health of a loved one. According to friends, she has been putting everything on wait in order to help her daughter, support her during lengthy nights of uncertainty and hospital visits. However, the story is not as simple as it first appears. Fans are supporting the Tucker family behind the scenes by praying, sending love messages, and sharing their own survival and adversity experiences. Others are wondering whether Kaela's abrupt collapse was caused by years of stress, emotional strain, and family strife. We're going into great detail about everything that has happened thus far in this video, from Kaela's personal struggle to the current medical opinions regarding her condition. We'll look at how Kandi and her husband Todd Tucker are being affected by this news, how fans are reacting on social media, and what this might mean for the family's future. The most poignant aspect of this narrative isn't just what's happening right now, so stick with me through to the very end. Kaela shared this message just prior to the start of this disaster, a warning that, in retrospect, could have been a warning sign that nobody had noticed at the time. There were hints that something wasn't quite right with Kaela Tucker before the startling doctor's report was released. Kaela's energy felt different in recent months, according to longtime fans who have followed Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker's family on social media and reality TV. She wasn't sharing her typical inspirational sayings or lifestyle pictures. Her once bright and self-assured smile began to wane when she appeared in public. It started out inconspicuously. Kandi stated in interviews earlier this year that her daughter has been attempting to achieve balance in her personal life and working through certain issues. Nobody gave it any thought at the moment. Many believed it was due to the demands of adulthood, the difficulties of establishing a career apart from her parents' celebrity, or perhaps simply mental fatigue from being in the spotlight all the time. However, others close to the family now claim that before the family sought professional assistance, Kaela had been dealing with persistent exhaustion, unexplained pain, and episodes of vertigo for several months. She dismissed it at first, thinking it was a result of stress. constantly compared to her well-known parents. She had been juggling job initiatives, personal objectives, and negotiating her independence as a young lady. Sources claim that Kaela made an effort to overcome it. She did not want Todd or Kandi to be concerned. She was strong-willed, reclusive, and not the attention-seeking sort, according to her friends. When Kaela's symptoms worsened, things started to shift. According to one source, Kaela's the type of person who internalizes everything. She's always been determined to handle things on her own. She didn't want her mom to stress over her. Even Todd, who is known to be emotionally reserved, reportedly expressed concern, encouraging her to take time off, see specialists, and not ignore the warning signs after she began to lose noticeable weight and struggle to keep up with her regular activities. Friends also reported that she appeared more and more exhausted and withdrawn, frequently canceling plans at the last minute. Then came the turning point, when Kaela reportedly passed out at home one evening after feeling weak and lightheaded. According to family insiders, she was taken to the hospital, where doctors started a battery of tests right away to find out what was wrong, and the family remained silent for a few days so as not to worry fans or the media. Kandi Burruss, on the other hand, was in full crisis mode behind the scenes, canceling appearances, delaying meetings, and staying by her daughter's bedside. Todd, who is usually private about family matters, was described as being deeply shaken by the situation, and doctors reportedly performed numerous scans, blood tests, and evaluations before breaking the news that no parent ever wants to hear. Although specifics have not been made public, it is known that Kaela has a serious medical condition that necessitates continuous treatment and lifestyle modifications. Insiders have described it as a complex health challenge that will require patience, time, and emotional fortitude to overcome. Online speculation erupted as word of her hospitalization started to circulate. While the family hasn't confirmed the exact nature of the illness, one source close to Kandi said, "This has been one of the hardest seasons of Kandi's life." Some fans thought it was exhaustion, others feared it might be related to autoimmune issues given how suddenly her health seemed to decline, and some even linked it to emotional burnout, given Kaela's previous opening up about her struggles with identity and confidence in her blended family. For so long, she has stood by everyone, but this time is different. She's afraid this time. However, those closest to the Tucker family say that despite the uncertainty, the family's faith has not wavered. Kandi and Todd have been going to private prayer meetings and enlisting close friends to help them support Kaela emotionally and spiritually. As the Tucker family clings to hope, fans can't help but wonder, what exactly did the doctors reveal that has everyone so concerned? What are they not saying publicly? Why has Kandi remained so guarded about the details? That's where things start to get even more serious. Pastor Jamal Bryant, the family pastor and longtime friend, even hinted in a live stream that faith is being tested in that household, but healing's on the way. Everyone expected the test to reveal something treatable, something manageable, maybe an infection, maybe stress-related exhaustion, something that a few weeks of rest could fix. In the next section, we'll share what insiders say happened during that crucial doctor's meeting, what Kandi and Todd were told about Kaela's condition, and why this health crisis may be more complicated than anyone initially realized. Kandi and Todd were sitting next to Kaela's bed when the medical team arrived with the charts, reports, and scans that would explain everything they had found. But the atmosphere in that hospital room changed completely when the doctors returned with their findings. According to sources close to the Tucker family, the doctor's tone alone told them this was not going to be an easy conversation. Kandi, who has always been outspoken about her maternal instincts, asked right away how serious Kaela's condition was, as the doctor began gently, explaining that it involved a systemic issue that had probably been developing quietly for months, possibly even years, without clear warning signs. It was one of those moments that felt simultaneously like relief and heartbreak as the doctor took a moment to explain that Kaela's condition was not immediately life-threatening, but that it required urgent ongoing treatment and significant changes in her daily life. Although the precise diagnosis has not been made public, insiders stress that Kaela's condition is something that can be managed but not easily cured. Reports indicate that Kaela was diagnosed with a chronic autoimmune or circulatory condition that affects energy, blood flow, and overall immunity. Relief that she was still here, but heartbreak at the reality of what she was about to face. Kandi, a woman who has built her career on controlling her businesses, her image, and her time, found the news devastating because it requires constant care, medication monitoring, and lifestyle. constant care, medication, monitoring, and lifestyle adaptation. According to insiders, she sobbed as the doctor explained that stress, exhaustion, and emotional pressure could exacerbate the situation. The entire room reportedly fell silent when the words long-term management and lifelong adjustments were spoken. Todd Tucker, who is usually calm and practical, attempted to remain calm, but those who witnessed it said it was the first time they had ever seen him visibly shaken. He immediately started asking questions about treatment plans, recovery schedules, and what needed to be done immediately. After the initial meeting, the family requested privacy, stating that they needed time to process the diagnosis and determine how it would affect their daily lives. Todd always had a complex but loving relationship with Kaela, his daughter from a previous relationship, and it was said that seeing her in this vulnerable state broke him completely. There are good days when Kaela responds positively to treatment and smiles again, and then there are tough days when the weight of the situation feels unbearable. Kandi and Todd have been experiencing alternating periods of hope and fear. According to friends close to the couple, however, even in the midst of heartbreak, Kaela's strength is what stands out most. Visitors report that she is still appreciative and hopeful, frequently comforting her family rather than the other way around. One friend said, "Kaela keeps saying she's going to beat this." In the meantime, the physicians have put her on a meticulously planned rehabilitation plan that includes a specific diet, stress reduction strategies, and continuing therapy. She has been journaling, praying, and discussing how she hopes to assist people if she recovers. While the family has chosen to keep the specific medical details private, it is evident that Kaela's body needs rest, stability, and a peaceful environment to start healing. Kandi, who is well known for her hectic schedule of business endeavors, stage appearances, and TV commitments, has reportedly cleared her calendar to prioritize her daughter's health. Fans who follow Kandi's daily posts have noticed a sudden shift in tone, with her usual positive entrepreneurial energy being replaced by prayer emojis, gratitude posts, and brief reflections about clinging to faith through pain. Kandi has also subtly stopped sharing much of her personal life online, and the shift has been evident even on Todd's social media. He posted a picture of Kaela from happier times lately, writing, "Family over everything." The post received thousands of encouraging comments from fans, churchgoers, and even other celebrities. In the comments section, gospel singers, reality stars, and public figures offered sincere prayers, demonstrating the Tucker family's unwavering love during this trying time. However, this is where things get even more emotional. One insider claims that a private video of Kaela taken prior to her hospitalization is currently making the rounds among close friends and family members, in which she talks about feeling physically and emotionally exhausted but attempting to remain optimistic. In hindsight, it almost sounds as though she was describing what was going to happen when she talked about how social media pressure, public expectations, and internalized stress can gradually wear down a person's spirit. The fact that she knew her own health was deteriorating but chose to keep quiet to protect her family adds even more heartbreak to this story. "I wish he had told me sooner," Kandi reportedly told a friend. "Before things got this bad, I would have done anything to help her." Even though the chapter has been difficult, the Tucker family is not given up. According to sources, Kaela has begun treatment and is making progress gradually. She's surrounded by family, friends, and a strong support network that is committed to helping her get through this. But there are still unanswered questions. Kandi Burruss remained silent for days after Kaela Tucker's diagnosis was shared with the family. What caused this abrupt health spiral? Did emotional and mental stress play a bigger role than anyone realized? Did Kaela's doctors warn the family about her long-term future? Fans noticed her absence and began bombarding her latest photographs with remarks like, "We're praying for you and Kaela. And remain strong, Kandi. God's got your baby." There were no official declarations, public appearances, or social media posts clarifying what was happening. She has always been the kind of woman who takes charge of everything in her life, from her career to her family. But this was something she couldn't fix with money, power, or influence. This was her daughter's health. When the weight of that realization hit, Kandi reportedly broke down in tears during a private family prayer circle. People who know Kandi personally say that her silence wasn't indifference, but grief. "I always worked hard to give my kids the best life possible, but now I trade it all just to see Kaela healthy again." Kandi's exact words, "to see Kaela healthy again." Kandi's exact words that night, according to a close friend, went viral among her friends and family, expressing the unadulterated anguish of a mother who feels helpless in the face of her child's suffering. After almost 2 weeks of silence, Kandi finally made the decision to speak to her fans. In an emotional Instagram live session, she sat next to Todd Tucker and looked exhausted but calm. The couple didn't discuss all of Kaela's medical information out of consideration for her privacy, but they did confirm that Kaela had been battling a serious health issue and that their family was relying on God at every turn. As a family, this has been one of the most difficult things we've ever had to deal with, Kandi added. Kaela is strong and fighting. While there have been difficult days, there have also been hopeful moments that serve as a reminder that God is still in charge. After a brief break during which she was clearly fighting back tears, she said, "If you're seeing this and experiencing something similar, know that you're not alone. Even when strength fails, your faith may carry you." Tens of thousands of people watched the live stream. Words of encouragement, prayer emojis, and support were poured into the chat by fans. Numerous others talked about their personal health struggles or their experiences seeing a loved one's struggles. As fans and celebrities united in solidarity, it shifted from being a broadcast to more of a communal experience. Social media was ablaze with compassion and love that evening. Longtime friends of the Burruss-Tucker family, gospel singers, and reality TV personalities started using the hashtag #PrayForKaela in their posts. One of Kandi's closest escape pals, Tiny Harris, commented, "I'm standing with you, sis. We've seen each other through so much." Church communities immediately started setting up internet prayer chains. Despite her troubled past with Kandi, Tamar Braxton even commented, "Praying for complete healing for Kaela and strength for the Burruss-Tucker family. God can do what medicine can't." According to a pastor in Atlanta who knows the family well, Kandi may be well known for her skill, but she's just like the rest of us. Behind the scenes, Kandi and Todd started to rely more on their faith, attending private worship sessions at home with close friends and family members who get together for prayer every evening. According to sources, Kandi has found solace in reading devotionals aloud to Kaela, selecting verses that emphasize healing, strength, and perseverance. At the moment, she is walking through a valley that only faith can pull her out of. Even though the family's faith is giving them strength, the emotional toll has been indisputable. Kandi, according to insiders, is running on pure emotion, alternating between waves of overwhelming fear and moments of strong optimism. Todd, who is typically more reserved spiritually, has reportedly become more vocal about his belief that God's grace will see their daughter through. Despite her weakness, Kaela has become the family's quiet source of strength, and visitors describe her as calm, serene, and deeply introspective. She has been journaling every day, writing down verses, affirmations, and thoughts about gratitude. One insider said she will pray and smile with Kaela and then cry alone when no one else is around. She allegedly scribbled a message that said, "I'm learning that life is full of purpose, but it's also fragile." After a family friend posted the message anonymously, it went viral with the tagline, "Kaela's faith note. I may not understand this moment, but I trust that it's preparing me for something greater." That remark alone inspired thousands of fans. Kandi later confirmed in another update that Kaela had been transferred to a more comfortable private recovery space where she could focus on healing without the constant noise of hospital life. "She's getting stronger, She's getting stronger," Kandi said softly during that video, as many users commented, "This young woman's strength is unbelievable, and she's preaching through her pain, and we have faith in a complete recovery. We appreciate everyone's prayers for us. You'll never understand how much it matters." But not everyone on the internet has been nice. Since the updates correlated with other family promotions and appearances, a tiny but loud number of opponents accused the family of using the situation for publicity. Despite the negativity, the vast majority of public sentiment has been one of empathy and compassion, with fans organizing prayer circles on social media, fundraisers for Kaela's chosen charities, and innumerable messages of support for the family. Fans swiftly dispelled those accusations, reminding everyone that health battles are not publicity stunts, but rather deeply personal experiences. Despite the smiles and public faith, those close to the family say the journey is far from over. Kaela's condition requires long-term management, and doctors have made it clear that the next few months will be crucial. It serves as a reminder that community can be a powerful light even in times of darkness. Every choice she makes, including what she eats and how stressed she is, will have an impact, but Kandi Burruss has stated unequivocally that she would not abandon her daughter. "I've spent my whole life building success," she said. "My primary objective now is to strengthen her and our family. And there is still one last question while the family fights their war in private." What did Kaela say in her heartfelt voicemail that simultaneously left fans feeling optimism and heartbreak? The attitude of a young woman who knew she was fighting for her life but refused to give up was made clear by the message, which was shared shortly before she was admitted to the hospital.